MrBeast. How an obsessive kid turned YouTube into a perfect machine, obsessing over something when nobody else takes it seriously, spending years working with nothing to show for it, uploading content that barely gets watched while everyone else seems to move forward. Feeling like you're wasting time. Feeling like if it doesn't work soon, it probably never will. And the worst part isn't failing. It's that quiet voice that shows up after months or years and says, maybe this just isn't for you. Be honest. If you're watching this, you've probably felt that. Because this isn't just about YouTube. It's about betting years of your life on something that gives you no clear feedback. And that brings us to the uncomfortable question. Did MrBeast become the biggest creator in the world because of luck? Or because he followed a brutal logic most people refuse to accept? Because if success were just creativity, there would be thousands like him. And if it were just luck, it wouldn't be repeatable. So the real tension is this. Does success come from creative talent? Or from understanding the system better than everyone else? My name is Mr. Green, and I spend way too much time thinking about how modern empires are built, and why most people never finish building them. If you've ever obsessed over something while the world told you to quit, this video is for you. Make sure you subscribe, because what we're analyzing today isn't cheap motivation. It's pure logic. Here's the thing. Most people want success stories to start with charisma, talent, or luck. But this one starts with something far less impressive. Early obsession with no reward. Jimmy Donaldson starts uploading videos to YouTube around the age of 11 or 12. No connections, no money, no audience. And the videos weren't good. They were messy, unfocused, forgettable. But here's the first psychological pattern that matters. He wasn't chasing attention. He was chasing understanding. While most kids posted videos hoping to be seen, he was quietly asking, why does this work? And that doesn't. Not emotionally, mechanically, and that distinction changes everything. Most people enter YouTube asking, what do I want to express? He entered asking, how does this system actually work? Now comes the part nobody romanticizes. From roughly 2012 to 2016, he uploads constantly. 4 years, hundreds of videos. Almost no growth. This is where 99% of people quit. Because the human brain needs feedback. Likes, comments, validation. He had none of that. So why didn't he stop? Because he changed the question. Instead of asking, why isn't anyone watching? He asked, what makes someone stay 5 seconds longer? That's important. He wasn't chasing views, he was chasing retention. While others celebrated small wins, he was obsessed with invisible metrics. And here's the first major psychological shift, from emotional creator to system student. Let's be honest. This phase isn't inspiring, it's uncomfortable. Because it proves something most people don't want to hear. Hard work without direction doesn't matter. He tried everything. Gaming videos, commentary rankings, random challenges, most of it failed. But each video was an experiment, hypothesis. If the pacing is faster, retention improves. Result, it doesn't. Adjustment. Change structure, thumbnail, title, fail again, adjust again. This wasn't art, it was engineering. Like a laboratory where most experiments fail, but every failure removes one variable. And this is where people mentally collapse. Because working for years without recognition forces a brutal realization. Maybe you're not special. Maybe you're just persistent. And persistence without applause is psychologically exhausting. Now we get to it. This is where everything changes. In 2017, he uploads a bizarre video, counting to 100,000. Not funny, not cinematic, just absurd. But it had one thing his previous videos didn't. Extreme retention. People didn't watch because it was entertaining. They watched because they needed to know, Will he actually finish? And in that moment, something clicked. People don't share creativity. They share tension, not beauty, not effort. Simple narrative tension. Will he succeed? How far can this go? What happens next? This was the real breakthrough, not fame. Structural clarity. From here on, he stops thinking like a YouTuber. He starts thinking like an attention architect. Every dollar earned, reinvested. Better cameras, better audio, bigger ideas. Not for ego, but to remove friction. His thinking becomes systematic. First second, hook. Second 10, clear promise. Minute 1, rising stakes. Ending, unavoidable payoff. This isn't content anymore, it's optimization at scale. And this is the final psychological shift from I want views to I want total retention control. At this point, some of you are thinking, okay, but he got lucky. Sure, luck exists, but luck doesn't repeat for years. Luck doesn't build systems. Luck doesn't scale teams and formats. What he did was minimize dependence on luck, like an engineer designing a machine that fails less over time. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack mental structure. Copying the result is easy. Copying the process is brutal. Are you willing to upload for years without traction? Reinvest everything you earn? Measure data instead of feelings? Admit your style doesn't matter? Most people aren't. Because this isn't passion, it's controlled obsession. This isn't a story about fame or money. It's a story about structured patience, about accepting that real progress stays invisible for a long time, about being brutally honest when something doesn't work, about replacing validation with understanding. MrBeast didn't win because he was special. He won because he stayed when there were no signs of winning, and turned frustration into a system. So if you're building something right now, a channel, a project, an idea, and it feels like nobody sees it, maybe you're not wasting time. Maybe you're in the phase most people never survive. But let's be clear, this isn't for everyone, and it never will be. The real question isn't whether you can do it. The question is, are you willing to think differently long enough for the system to finally reward you? See you in the next video.